Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai, and welcome to Jagadambe Reads the Holy Books of India, ShrimadBhagavatam224. As you may remember, Shakuntala and her son and the disciples were on their way to the city, and the people outside the gates were staring at them and making comments. The disciples of Kanva did not relish this. They stopped abruptly and said, "Shakuntala, as per the desire of our guru, we have brought you to the city where your husband rules. We will now leave you and return to the ashram." Shakuntala was afraid of the new place, the new surroundings. She was feeling lost. And again, it was so long since she had seen the king, she did not know how he would receive her. She said, "Please come with me to the palace. And after the king has seen us, you can go back." They shook their heads and said, "It cannot be. In our way of life, the rules forbid a hermit from entering a city. We have brought you safely to the gates of the city. You can easily find your way to the palace. As for us, we have nothing to do with cities, nor with the people who live there. This place and its urbanity are of no use to the likes of us, who have renounced all forms of bondage. We wish to go back." Shakuntala's eyes were full of tears. They comforted her, saying, "Do not be afraid. You will be all right. We have been observing the omens all the way, and they have been good throughout. Your son will certainly be crowned. You have been blessed by our guru, and his words have never been known to be wasted." They turned away from the city and began walking fast. She stood there holding her son's hand in hers, and so she stood until they were out of sight. They took away with them her last link to the ashram. Shakuntala stood like a statue, lost in a reverie, and her son brought her back to reality. He tugged at her hand, and she walked slowly into the city, with her mind still pining for her father and her life in the ashram. Her steps were slow and hesitant, and her eyes had a scared look like that of a stricken deer. Her son held her hand firmly in his, and it was he who was supporting her while they walked through the king's way. The child was highly impressed by the lofty buildings, which seemed to vie with each other in an attempt to touch the clouds. The youngster's eyes were bright with excitement. She was listless, and so they walked toward the palace. The people on the road were struck by the sight of this very beautiful woman with such sad eyes, and the youngster who walked like a lion. They seemed to be mother and son. Some said, "She looks like the queen of the heavens, Shachi Devi, walking with her son Jayanta." Others said, "What a beautiful woman. One would think it is the goddess Lakshmi herself walking into our city. We wonder if it is she, and decide it is not, since she does not hold the red lotus in her hand." Shakuntala was talking softly to her son as they proceeded, and the people said, "Surely it must be someone from the other world. We have not seen the like of them before. Look at the young man. He looks noble like a lion, and he walks like a lion. His neck and chest are as powerful as those of a lion. What a perfectly made figure he has. His feet are so beautiful, and the soles are red, and they are planted so firmly on the ground with every step he takes. His walk is like that of a king." Another said, "Oh, when you say king, I am struck by something in his face and his form. Why, he does look like our king Dushanta. Whose son can he be? The lady with her gait like that of a swan talks like a nightingale. Her voice is so sweet. Her face is like the moon, and she reminds one of a string of jasmine buds when she smiles. Her complexion is like a lotus petal. Her eyes are long and liquid, and again one thinks only of the lotus petal when we see her. Her skin is glowing like molten gold." Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you for coming. I hope you come again.